like I said, he would be in the top. It would be us. If we all three had to fight in a tournament, it would be us three at the top for sure.
Who three? What? Who? What? Go back. He said, well, if it had to be us three and what? Who? What? I know he ain't just shot a slot. All right, today's video is going to be on more of a little bit of a serious note. It's a lot of things that I keep hearing that sound absolutely ridiculous to me. And I found the video, where I'm going to kind of highlight that. And I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on it. So in the video, we have former UFC fighter Corey Anderson, who now fights in Bellator, speaking on how he thinks Vadim Nemkov, the current champion at Bellator, and himself and things like that, matches up with top fighters in the UFC. Myself, being the champion, and the other fighters in this division included. So to me, some of the things he said were interesting and kind of funny. So we're gonna kind of pull up the video and we're gonna get some thoughts on it. We're gonna go through it together.
You got guys like, Vadim Nemkov, Johnny Evelyn, the top champions that are arguably better than the UFC champions in their divisions right now. So I guess
pause that. Now, that first thing right out the gate that he said, I don't know who started this. They started echoing this at some point down the line. I think it was meant to be a disrespect to me for Bellator champions being better than the UFC champions because I'm champion and things like that, which is completely insane. Because here's the thing. We've seen UFC fighters go from the UFC and be successful in Bellator. We have yet to see that with a Bellator fighter. Now, I'm not taking shots at nobody. I'm just simply stating the real. Michael Chandler is a phenomenal fighter. All right, he's a great dude. I love Michael Chandler. Whenever he fights, I will be watching. He's must-see TV. The level look at his 5 fights in the UFC and his last 5 fights in Bellator. The level of competition, whether you tell me if the level of competition shifted at all. We can take a prime example of a Ryan Bader who can go from UFC, not touching gold, not even being in a title fight, but yet he can go down to Bellator and be a 2-division champion. Fighters retire from the UFC and go to Bellator. Yeah, that whole notion just sounds dumb, and history has shown us where the best fighters in the world reside, which is also, in fact, why Michael Chandler wanted to challenge himself and come to the UFC and fight and test himself against the best fighters in the world, because everybody knows this is where they are. Just right out the gate, whoever that guy is, he's a dumbass. And anybody else who says that, you're dumb too.
Do you feel like a guy like Nemkov could fit in if he was in the UFC light heavyweight division? Like, how do you feel like he would stack up against some of the top UFC light heavyweights?
He'd definitely be up at the top. If not the champ. I've said it before I fought Nemkov, the only person over there in UFC I feel will be the champ soon. There isn't a champ yet. He should have fought with the champ last with Maga Ankala. Like, I've trained with him a few times in camp. We shared camp together. He's a monster. I've trained with other heavyweights in the UFC.
Maga Ankala. So we talking about the same guy who fought to a decision with Jan Blachowicz, who just so happened to be the same guy who knocked you out and sent you to Bellator. But that's the only guy that can compete with a guy that you tied with. And then what was the other one? It was a decision? That statement is bizarre. No contest and decision. But yet the guy that cleaned your clock and then went to a decision with the same guy that you're talking about. MMA math may not be like a beat all type thing, but you gotta have some type of logic to making sense to the dumb shit you say, because that was pretty dumb.
I fought the other top guys in the UFC, and there's nobody ever trained with that has movement, who has striking, who's just so well rounded. Like, even though he's not a ground guy, if you go to the ground, he can handle himself on the ground. He can maneuver you and control you on the ground really well. He's got great takedown defense. It's just all around, like all rounds. Whenever we get together, the two camps and another time I was out in Vegas and we just trained together. He's just so good. Like I tell everybody, like, yo,
somebody.
It's like, if it's 1 and 2 in order to land,
trained with a UFC fighter.
Like,
Magomed's one of the best fighters in the world. Like, you're not. So yes, he's gonna seem like he's that guy like that to you.
And we just go at it. He's just that good. Like I said, Yuri Prochazka, he's wild and he's exciting and he's very marketable and crazy like that. But technical wise, he has nothing on my Enclave. I'm watching his fights, so what I see, he has nothing on Enclave. So 100%, I feel. And him and Vadim, I think, fought back in the amateur days, back in Russia. Mm-hmm. And he beat Vadim by decision. So I think, like I said, he would be in the tie. It would be us. If we all three had a fight in the tournament, it would be us three at the top, for sure.
Who three? What? Who? What? Go back. He said, well, if it had to be us three and what? I know he ain't just shot a slot.
Like I said, he would be in the tie. It would be us. If we all three had a fight in the tournament, it would be us three at the top, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Last question for
bro. Bro, you can't be serious. You can't be. Bro, you couldn't even make it to the top 3 with the dudes that was just there. So the batch that beat out the batch that you couldn't make it against, you was gonna do. Come on, bro. You gotta have some logic to what you're saying. You gotta have some logic to what you're saying. And your history in the UFC is of you snoring, sleep. So don't even do that. Don't even do that. You don't let these reporters and this whatever hype your head up, bro. It ain't nothing up. It ain't nothing at this level for you but naps. And you realize that, which is why you are where you at. Cut it, bro. Cut it. And as far as the whole Magomed thing goes, he's one of the top dudes in the world. We gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I'm more than happy to show you what happened when you get across from me. You get what I'm saying? The crazy things that has just been said back and forth and all around, like, is like, bro, stop it, bro. Like, I understand having fun with sports and sports talk and all of that, but like, make something make sense. You got knocked out cold by a guy who then tied with the guy that you're talking about, who's also been dominated by guys that's been dominated by other guys. Like, I mean, granted, yes, it's MMA math. I'm doing some MMA math right now. But by all accounts, and when we're talking skill level, we've had multiple instances where you just couldn't compete with the top dudes at this level. That's like somebody getting sent to the D League in the NBA, but then he going up talking about, yeah, bro, I could be the MVP in the league. I could be the MVP in the NBA. I'll take a team to the finals right now. Like, it doesn't, like, you sound goofy. Your whole thing, whenever you first signed with Bellator, talking about, oh, you got the bag, you got your bag and things like that. They gave you money, gave you like, be good with that, but understand where you at though. You are in the B leagues, bro. All right, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to address that to let you know, like, where y'all at. You know what I mean? If anybody really truly feel like they like that, don't sit here and keep talking about, oh, I can compete with you. Come on in. Come on in. The UFC always looking for new exciting fighters. They want the best in the world, which they already have. So if you like that, come show it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Period.